Dead Drawers, and welcome to episode number 69 of Deaddrawgaming, a Pokemon TCG podcast like no one ever was. We have a super exciting episode for you guys today, so if you are hyped just like we are, make sure to hit the like button down below and share this podcast with all of your friends. Guys, we have a crazy good episode coming your way, but before we get too far into things, I'm going to introduce you to my co-hosts who are with me every single week. Hello, Danny. Hello, Darren. What is going on today, boys?
What up, everybody? Darren here. I am really excited for our special guest today, one of our really good friends. Can't wait to talk with him, and it should be a really fun time. Danny, how are you doing?
Are you calling me your special guest?
You are my special guest in my heart every week.
So, yes?
But we have another one as well.
Oh, okay. I'm doing good. I'm super tired because we had a lot of fun, like really long weekend of sorting and opening and shooting content and not really sleeping. And then the work part really comes. You do so much work to lead up to a set release. And then the opening is fun. It's like a roller coaster. You wait so long. And then it takes like 30 seconds. But then you have to disassemble the entire roller coaster after you're done. So it's like a lot of work, a real little bit of fun, and then a lot of work. And if you don't do it right after the set release, after you open, you lose a lot of money. So I'm tired and really in a good mood. And that's pretty much it. Who's our special guest, Dan? How are you doing, Dan?
I'm the special guest, and I am doing awesome. Darren and I are actually sitting right next to each other this week because the cord for my microphone was lost and it's gone forever. So I have to buy a new one. So this week, instead of going back and going back to that poor quality microphone that I had, I decided I would just come over to Darren's so that we didn't have to deal with that. So you guys didn't have to suffer through my voice again.
Our elbows are touching.
It's true.
It's fun.
Anyways, you guys, our special guest is someone you've maybe heard of before, especially if you listen to the podcast, because I believe this is his third, maybe fourth time with us. Aaron Trainer is here today. Aaron, what is going on, man?
What's up? How's it going? It's good to be back. It is my third time, I believe. But yeah, I'm excited. Helped out Deaddrawgaming this weekend with the set release and excited to join them on the podcast.
And we are very excited to have you with us, and it was a great weekend, and we're going to do a little bit more talking about that in a little bit. You guys want to hear everything else we're going to talk about today also?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
awesome.
please.
So, we are going to jump right into this week, start out with Pokemon news. And then once the Pokemon news is all gone through, we're going to go ahead and give you guys a Dallas Regionals recap since that was this last weekend. Then we are going to do our weekly top 5. And then we're going to jump into what I think is going to be a really fun topic, all about Aaron Trainer. And then we're going to do our question of the week, our buy-sell trade of the week, our open discussion, and our wrap. And at some point in between all of this, we are going to we're going to talk about our weekend and how much fun it was and all the cool things that we did and all the fun stuff that you guys as Dead Draw fans will get to listen to, watch, enjoy, whatever it is coming to you. So, Pokemon news. Danny, Darren, this is your time. Take it away.
I'm going to hop right in, and the only real big Pokemon Go news this week is that it broke the top 10 for most money made for a mobile game this in 2017. Pokemon Go came in at number 9 with $890 million in revenue, right behind Candy Crush Saga. How nuts is that?
Dang.
For a game that is supposedly dead, this doesn't seem very bad at all.
No, it does not.
Isn't that crazy how much it's made? Like, what is it, almost 2 years now into its life?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
that's insane to me. I just don't understand how that's possible. Like, they did, I mean, there was like a little bit of a decline in it, but then when Gen 2 came out, like, it's just been, I feel like it's been steadily climbing. Maybe took a little bit of a break again, and then continued to climb again.
That's right. In their first year, they made over $1 billion, and then since then it's dropped a little bit. But I mean, $890 million, nothing to scoff at. It's obvious that they are still doing something right. I know I personally still enjoy playing, so that's kind of it for Pokemon Go news this week. We can move on to, I don't know, TCG news. What is there? There isn't really much. Let's take a look. So I think, did we get an official release for the Solgaleo and Lunala GX starter sets? October 5th. There we go.
Oh yeah, because it was pushed back, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry. The Solgaleo GX and Lunala GX boxes with the super cool, awesome new Solgaleo GX.
New Galio.
Yeah, new Galio. Pushed all the way back to October 5th. It's pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
It was originally slated for March 23rd, so that is quite a difference.
That's a huge difference. It's like the Tapu Lele psychic type.
Yeah. Sadness
that never
forever.
came out, and then all of a sudden, hey, there's a fairy type Tapu Lele in Ultra Prism that nobody really knew about.
It's silly. It really is. The other big Pokemon TCG news, I suppose, is we are officially getting an errata for the English printing of Cyrus. We all knew it was coming. They just made it official.
I would like to play the non-errated version and have it count that way, please.
I agree. This is kind of cool. So Toys R Us, as you guys know, they do special promos every so often. The next special promo for Toys R Us will be Saturday, February 3rd from noon until 2 p.m., where you can receive a holo Piplup promo, as well as an Ultra Prism poster. It's a lot of P's.
Ooh. Is this is that the good one, the 70 HP one?
Let's take a look. It is. Yes, it is.
Oh, nice.
Prism Piplup promo. Prism Piplup promo. Prism Piplup promo. Say it 5 times fast.
You couldn't even do it 3.
That's all right.
I couldn't. That's why I told you to do it.
No.
Okay.
And I think that's it for TCG. Did you guys see the leaked photos from the Detective Pikachu set? They are funny. They are actually. There's a couple really funny ones. Anytime anyone's wearing a full body latex suit for blue screen purposes, it's always very fun. It's just we get to see some of what this movie's going to look like, and some of what the small Pokemon are going to look like. It might be kind of cool because we have real people, and then we have people in full blue suits that are going to be replaced with CGI Pokemon milling around. So it looks like we have a Loudred and a Trico, possibly. It's going to be good. I'm actually excited to see this movie because there has been nothing like it in the Pokemon franchise so far.
Yeah, but where's Danny DeVito?
Don't worry. This beautiful young man right here, Ryan Reynolds.
There you go.
And we are very excited for Ryan Reynolds being Detective
They kind of look
Pikachu.
alike, though, if you squint.
You squint.
I think it's the other way around. If you remove your eyeballs.
Yes.
Then Danny DeVito and Ryan Reynolds look alike.
I don't know.
They're at least both bald.
Except for one.
Yes.
All right. We can move on. That is literally all we have for news this week, everyone. Crazy. Really short. But that just leads us into the big competitive news, which is our regional event in Dallas. It was crazy. Did you guys get to watch the stream?
Yeah, what did I catch? So I watched some of it on Saturday, and then when you guys came over, I watched very, very, very little. And then on Sunday for top 32, 38, I was working on getting stuff uploaded to the website, so I was able to watch a little bit more of it, but not a ton of it, because then we were shooting content stuff. But I was trying to keep up with it as much as I could. One of our players was on stream on day 2.
That's right, Ryan Grant. We got to watch Ryan. He had an amazing game 1, and then just couldn't pull it out game 2 and 3.
Oh my goodness, he rocked so hard game 1, and then it all fell down. His matchup, to be fair, was not a good matchup.
That's right.
Like it wasn't a super winnable matchup. He was just having really good draws, and then didn't work as well in games 2 and 3.
So one notable thing about this tournament was the top 38 had a lot of a certain Pokemon. Dan, do you want to talk about that for a second?
I was very close, you guys. Last week, I claimed that there would be at least 25 decks in day 2 that would be running Zoroark. There was 23.
So close. So close. And that is a ridiculously high number. Like, wowzers.
5 of top 8 ended up doing it. So, we take those?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, this just means Zoroark GX is as good as the hype coming out of Japan, coming into America. It is ruling both formats. Hard to say anything but broken.
Busted.
Do you think so? Before we, I guess, okay. So let's talk about the stream for a second before we get too much into. Before we talk about the actual like decks that won, like that stuff, like the stream. I thought the commentators were fantastic. I think like Jeremy Jallin and Ross Gilbert and Michael Canavis and Emily. Like I think they all do a really great job. John Kettler was also great. So I thought that was great. Like they did an amazing job. And even though we missed round 1, and I would say like probably the stream setup as far as like the look of the stream goes wasn't ideal, but the commentators were fantastic. Mm-hmm. And I think that helped ignore like kind of the missing things that maybe the setup of the stream didn't have. What did you guys think?
I thought it was nice how the stream evolved as the event kept going. Like it started out rough, to say the least, and as it went on, they got better about changing out card pictures, better about putting on the time clock. Some rounds they didn't have a timer going, but you know when we got to day 2, I think they really caught their stride, and the stream was pretty good. Like it was. I mean, it wasn't an official stream. Like that is a very high level to try to attain, but it was good. It was watchable, and the commentary, like you said, was fantastic.
Anybody else have any thoughts?
Again, commentary, fantastic. Outside of that, if you don't have anything nice to say, you shouldn't say it at all.
Okay. So you didn't think the setup was that great, basically?
There was definitely areas of improvement, and like the thing that really got me, I think, with it is that like there have been past streams not done professionally or officially, I guess I should say, that have been very good, and it's almost like they went into it not doing any research on anything prior to it. It was very lackluster. It just felt like there were things that have been done before that definitely could have been added into the stream that was left out. And I mean, I don't want to, throw too much shade because overall the stream quality was good enough, to be watched. And they definitely did a good job, as we said, picking out who was going to be commentating. But outside of that, I mean, how do you put the camera on the table? Like that's like rule number 1. Don't put the camera on the table. There's just things that other non-official streams have done that I feel like they should have known going into it.
I think that's pretty fair without being mean. I mean, there definitely were a lot of things that could have been done better. I'm just happy that there was a stream. That's great.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. How about you, Mr. Awesome. Professional?
I mean, I don't have much to say. I back up what you guys are saying, and like Darren said, I'm glad that there was a stream. However, I do believe just like tournament organizers have to do with their venue choices and how they run a tournament, having to be at a certain level, otherwise, the the players aren't happy. Eventually, it's not there yet, but I think eventually streams will have to be that way as well, where, you know, they hit a very high mark with their commentary, but if their quality is not there, I think that eventually, as other people improve as well, people are going to come down hard on streams, as they should.
No, that's fair. I just wanted to go over it a little bit. I thought it was worth pointing out. I think it's important for us to pay attention to the stream in case that's something that we decide we want to get into tackling in the future. Could be a fun thing. So I want to get your thoughts on it, but we can talk about the actual event itself, because this was the biggest regional ever, and it was expanded. And I guess before we go into talking about the anger and hate and community ideas behind bans that need to start happening as far as specific cards go, we can talk about what did well. So there were 38 decks that made day 2, and like Dan said earlier, there were a lot of Zoroark variants that were ran, and there were a lot of decks that had Zoroark in there. So I think that, what did I pick to win? Did I pick Greninja or did I pick something else? Did I go with my brain or my heart?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, if I did pick Greninja, there was one in top 38, but it didn't win. So there was also, the thing about Zoroark is it was all over the place as far as what it was paired with. So there was Zoroark Night March, there was Lonzo, there was Lycanroc Zoroark, there was Zoroark Golisopod, there was Zoroark Vespiquen. Like, all those decks made... Am I missing any? Zoroark Counterbox? What is Zoroark Counterbox that Xander played?
There's one that Dustin Zimmerman played, and it's just got it's got an Entei from Ancient Origins, it's got Sudowoodo, it's got Virizion from Ancient Origins, just a bunch of different stuff in it.
So it's literally like Dan's old favorite deck with...
I miss fairies.
Yeah, exactly. And then there was also Shocklock, which Dan loves. That was in top 38. There were a couple of those.
Right.
One of our friends, Cody, played Blastoise and took 19th after day 1. Went into top 38 with Blastoise. He was the only Blastoise player that made day 2. I don't know if there was a lot of Blastoise players.
He might have been the only Blastoise player.
If
possible.
there's anybody who has experience with Blastoise, it's Cody, because he plays it literally all the time. Then there was quite a few night marches, and then, like I said, there was a Greninja. There was some different there was a Garbodor box with Parallel City. There was Drampa Garb. There was a Buzzwole Lucario Carbink that Andrew Mahone played. And did I read right that he didn't play any VS Seekers in his list?
Yep, you did read that right.
Wow. How?
He actually only had 4 cards that were from the expanded format.
That's crazy.
It was 2 Colress, 1 Computer Search.
Well, I mean, do you mean like...
Oh, Lucario EX. Duh. So, yeah, he only had 4 cards from expanded format that were only in expanded, being Colress, Computer Search, and Lucario, which is pretty nuts.
Yeah, and he was the only one who had 34 points that didn't make top 8.
That hard whiff.
So he bubbled out in 9th place. And there was a couple Guardy players, too, that made day 2.
Surprised you haven't talked about good old Primal Groudon yet.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was saving the best one for last. I missed it. There was a Primal Groudon that made day 2. There was actually quite a few of them, I think, that were played, but only one of them that played successfully enough to make it to day 2. And that was, I think that was Alex Kreckler, I believe, who played it. And he ended up, he finished 20th.
Yep. And then there was also the one Wailord list piloted by Drew Kennett.
Yeah, and he didn't do too well on day 2, I don't believe.
I don't know the answer to that.
One thing that I really like is the insanely large number of Wisconsin players in top 38 here.
Wisconsin.
That's right. Wisconsin.
We're going to be biased because 3 of them are from our team.
That's true.
True.
So there were 3 Team DDG members. They were all playing the same list, I believe.
Yep.
And that was Caleb Gettimer, who took top 16. He finished 16th. Ryan Grant took 19th. And then Austin finished 27th.
Yep. That's right.
So the fun thing about Austin is that he started the day out 2-0-3. So he had to win his last 4 to get into day 2, and somehow he did it. Went 6-0-3 to make day 2.
Man,
that's fantastic.
What a beast.
Yeah, the fun thing about Ryan is that he has literally had to beat 2,000 players over the last 2 tournaments to make day 2 twice, basically.
Wow.
Right? That's how that works.
Well, Caleb too, right?
Caleb didn't make day 2 in Memphis. Just Ryan did. He got points, but he didn't make day 2. But he did make day 2 in the biggest regional ever and finished top 16. And he is actually currently ranked 6th now in North America, which is
wow.
Ha ha.
Crazy.
Frank, get dropped.
Whoa.
And then James Taylor is also from Wisconsin. He finished. He went into the top 8 as the number 2 seed. And he's not too far away from where we live, but he went 11-2-2 to finish with 35 points, and I think he finished top 4.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And the winner of the entire thing was Riley. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Hubert.
Yeah, they were just saying Hubert.
Okay. So he won the entire thing, and outside of scooping, he scooped, I think, round 13, so that way he could have a better matchup in top 8. He never lost, except for the scoop.
Man, that is just crazy. And the biggest thing about his deck is his red card. One singular red card made that much of a difference.
I read something that he posted where he said playing 15 matches through Swiss, it was important in 12 of those matches.
Oh, man.
Okay. Wow. That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, red card came in clutch for him a lot, and there's actually been people now who we've sold more red cards all of a sudden. There's people inquiring if we have red cards. Like, that's what happens, I guess. Somebody takes it, does really well at a tournament, and then all of a sudden people remember, oh wait, yeah, this card has been decent before, and it could help out a lot right now. So, good for him. I mean, that's super amazing and quite the accomplishment. But the top 38, pretty diverse. And again, a lot of great players who made the top 38, just all over the board as far as consistency goes. So that's fantastic.
And we did also have one other Wisconsin player make top 4.
Kid, right?
Yep, Kid Stark. Wisconsin taking over Dallas.
5.
Did you guys see the final count for Masters for Dallas? 1,052. What a number.
Oh, man.
Crazy.
So 29 people registered and did not play. Because the final number for registration was 1081. But I mean,
I didn't play.
Who?
Did you register, Danny?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay. All right. I also didn't play.
Same.
But,
Yeah.
Speaking of how we didn't play, there are a lot of people that kind of wish they didn't. I've been seeing a lot of flack, especially for this tournament. Not that it was ran poorly, but just that it was expanded, and that people are extremely over the expanded format right now. Have you guys heard some of this or seen some of this on social media?
Yeah.
I've seen a bit.
So generally, people are tired of Hex Chain and Getsis, and they are very displeased with Zoroark just running rampant. I mean, have you guys heard anything differently?
No, I mean, I've heard the exact same thing. Are they upset because of Zoroark's ability, or are they upset because of Zoroark's attack? Because I've also seen a lot of people say that double colorless energy needs to be banned.
That's a stretch.
Yeah, that's...
Well, the reason they're saying it is because every single... So if you look at the top 38, for example, outside of Primal Groudon, which only uses fighting energies, and Greninja and beached whales, for the most part, every deck in there needs a DCE to attack.
So
Because
let's
everything
see.
uses Zoroark.
Whales, Groudon, that fighting list Mahone played, Greninja, Shocklock, Sableye Garb. Oh, Sableye Garb wasn't in top. Never mind. And Blastoise, which is not a lot, but I mean, this seems like the carousel that we always go around after every single time we have an expanded tournament, right? Where, oh man, something did good, let's ban it.
Yeah.
Can
you
you
know.
have tournaments like this where you have cards that are banned in expanded but not banned in standard?
I think we've had that before, right?
Yeah, you can absolutely have cards banned in one format and not the other. That's for sure.
But have we had that before where it's banned in expanded and legal in standard?
Wasn't
No.
Forest that way for a second?
No.
Because I remember it going out and expanded, but I can't remember what happened to it in standard.
It didn't go out and expanded.
rotate.
It went out at the same time rotation happened.
Oh.
So you're right, Danny. We haven't had that yet, but it's set up that it can work that way.
Okay. Because people were saying Hex was a big one because I forget who it was. I think it was it Sam Huff? Somebody said that their main goal was to Hex 8 turns in a row. And that's what they did every single game, and that's how they won so much. It was
Yeah.
Hex. It was Hex 8 turns in a row.
I believe it.
And then
I
your
mean,
opponent can't recover from that.
I mean, I sure couldn't. If I were playing, when I still played, I remember Hex chains win games.
Hex chains win game. I should get that tattooed on my upper back. Hex
Do it.
chains win games.
Do it.
That was
If this-
unintentional.
If this podcast gets 2 likes, Danny will do it.
Nope.
Whoa, 2 likes?
Two?
That's all it takes. Then just Dan will like it once and have somebody else like it.
Aaron will do it.
I like them all, so
I don't know
man.
if how I feel about. I don't know if we can say that Hex is strong enough right now off of one tournament to warrant a ban yet.
I don't know that there's necessarily any card that's strong enough right now to warrant a ban. It also kind of seems that it doesn't matter what gets printed in form of consistency or in form of, something to stop consistency. Pokemon players will find a way to complain about it.
Right. I mean, it's just a circle. Like a few weeks ago, everybody was complaining, I don't know what to play for Dallas because there's no meta. And then a Zoroark meta shows up and now everybody hates it. And, I can see the argument for the Hex and maybe the Getsis, but I agree with you, Dan, that there's not one of them that's strong enough to warrant a ban yet.
Not yet. I can definitely see, even up to 10 cards that should definitely be looked at. But I mean, remember, what was the last San Jose? Everyone was crying for Dimension Valley to be banned, and it was used in, 5 decks in day 2?
Right.
I mean, meta shifts happen, I don't know when the next expanded tournament is off the top of my head, but you can imagine that Zoroark is going to be the same way now or the same way then that it is right now, but there's no way to tell for sure.
Yeah, you would think so, but now you've got a whole nother set that comes out in a few days that could really impact that. That could impact everything,
Absolutely.
especially in expanded. I mean,
That
there
is
could
true.
be. Look at the guy who won. So Riley won by playing a single copy of Red Card that came up clutch. The thing is that he ran that card. That was the one tech that he could deal with, or that he could use, that kind of set him apart from the other players. And there's so many cards in expanded right now that probably aren't even thought of as, hey, if I add this one card that can swing Hex in my favor.
I think-
Just go play Blockade Executor then. There, problem solved. They can't play Hex.
I think that's a good point that you're making, that people are going to find the text, that people are going to change the way they build their decks to get around this. It's how it always works, and it sucks right now that so many people chose the same meta call, and so it looks like it's extremely dominant. And it might be, but it also might just be that for the next expanded tournament, people are going to find a way around it. They're going to find a way to deal with it, and then it won't be a big deal. Like, there were tons of calls for Gardevoir was too strong, and now there were 4 Gardevoir decks or 3 Gardevoir decks. You know, it's just how it goes, right? Deck building will have to change. Hex and Getsus and Red Card all take advantage of the fact that our decks right now, everyone's decks in the meta are too focused on abilities, too focused on items, and so people will change.
Agreed.
Well, what else? Do we have anything else to say about the good old Dallas Regional other than grats to everyone down there in Dallas for doing an amazing job running the tournament?
I do have one thing, and this has absolutely nothing to do with TCG Masters, but video game for the juniors division, top 4 was all girls.
I saw that. That was super cool.
I think it's very important that happened. Definitely barrier breaking. Kind of helps, I think, a little bit with, especially, you know, there's not a ton of younger kids that show up to tournaments the same way that Masters do. But having 4 girls come in and do that in video games probably, you know, will help some of the young boys, like, just understand, you know, hey, this isn't just for you. Because I know even when I was a kid, you know, some kids just think that way. And it's unfortunate, but this was really important, and congratulations to all of them that did it.
Mm-hmm.
Good for them. That's fantastic. Wow.
Now let's see that in TCG. We need more girls.
There was also a regional that was played in Leipzig, right?
That's right.
And Tor didn't win.
Did
What?
Tord play?
Yeah, he was in top 8. He top 8'd, but he didn't win.
Bird Walters won, though. Bird's super good, though, too.
Who is?
Burt Walters?
Burt Walters.
I'm pretty sure he topped 16 worlds last year.
I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm not too good on the meta overseas. I know that...
Do not see Tord in top 8.
Are we looking at... Maybe I'm looking at the wrong one. Regional, Leipzig.
28th January 2018.
January 27th. Yeah. Looks like Tor didn't make day 2.
What am I looking at? Oh my gosh, I'm looking at a League Cup.
Oh.
All right, somebody else talk. Somebody else say there was also a regional in Leipzig and go over it, because I obviously don't have the right list here.
There was also a regional event this same weekend in Leipzig, and Burt Walters took number 1, piloting Buzzwall Lycanroc. Go ahead.
Okay, I was just going to say, this was a standard tournament. However, there was only one Zoroark. And actually, there was no 2 of the same deck. Just kidding. No, wait. Darren, go back up. I'm just talking for top 8.
Oh, top 8.
No 2 of the same deck in top 8. Neat.
Oh, wow.
And there was a Tapu Bulu Vikavolt at number 2. There was a Greninja, a Buzzwole, Garbodor, a Zoroark, Lycanroc, a Gardevoir, a Volcanion, heck yeah, and a Zoroark Golisopod. But
That's pretty diverse, surprisingly.
it is. But can we talk about number 9, the 9th place? Wobbuffet Break.
Nice.
So, the reason that it
What
plays
does
a break,
Wobbuffet Break do?
tanks hits from Zoroark.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Zoroark can't one-shot it.
Oh, nice.
I mean, unless it, like, Kukuis or something. And
We've been talking, when we talked, who did we talk to that said that Buzzwole was probably, was that Pram that we talked to? Yeah, Pram said that Buzzwole was the one deck that he was scared of in top 8 and didn't want to run into. Because he thinks he doesn't think it's as strong as Zoroark to get you aggressively through to the finals, but it's the one deck that can beat you and knock you out.
I definitely believe that.
Mm-hmm.
It clearly happened. So maybe Oceania will be more interesting than just an all Zoroark top 8.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. I'm excited to see what happens here.
When is so Oceania is the next major tournament. That's an international event that comes February, I want to say the 9th and 10th,
That sounds right.
and then the following week is Collinsville.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Wait, before we get into the next topic, do you guys know what's happening at St. Louis?
No,
That regional weekend? You guys know?
what's happening?
I'm coming out of retirement.
Oh,
Yes.
This is important news.
Dang Armin coming back once again for the title. No holds barred.
One time only.
One time only. Do you have a thought on what you're gonna play?
Brand new meta. So we'll definitely be talking about this over the next few weeks, but Duskmane Necrozma is the first deck that comes to mind as far as new stuff is concerned.
See,
So,
Dan's super lucky now that he has an entire pro-am team to steal ideas from.
well, when we were here this weekend, we were messing around with Ultra Prism decks and just trying to build stuff when we should have been working. And we built Duskmane Necrozma first, and Cliffy built Empoleon Glaceon, and Duskmane Necrozma was just running the floor with it. It was so easy to power up, like it was consistent.
Really?
And these were just not great builds, because we're
No,
scrubs,
it's
so
pretty bad.
it wasn't fantastic builds. But you were able to streamline things pretty easily once you got your Magnezone out on the field, and you could just continue to attach, discard, attach, discard, attach, discard, and you're hitting one hit KOing, and then you mount Cornet back into your hand. Like, it was just pretty sick. So Duskmane Necrozma was a lot of fun. We built Alolan Dugtrio.
Mm-hmm.
And
How was that?
actually
I wasn't
pretty
there for
consistent
that.
yesterday. Nope. Yeah, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Once we got the list down, and then we built Garchomp Lucario, and that wasn't bad either, because Lucario would let you, search your deck for basically anything that you need, and Garchomp, as long as you play Cynthia, you're one hit KOing anything that you want, pretty much. So
It was really fun. I really like the Doug Trio deck.
I made a 40 card list for Dugtrio, and it's I'm having a good time with it too.
The Mount Coronet combo is just
Yes.
nasty.
Exactly right. Did you guys use Ribombe, or you were using only Ultra Prism cards?
We used. I didn't hear the last part of that, but we used Starmie.
Oh,
Yeah, we used
okay. Starmie makes sense. My build has Ribombe.
what does Rabambi do?
It searches energy in your deck.
Okay. Yeah,
So
so,
then
we had 2 copies of Professor's Letter if we wanted to pull stuff out of our deck, and then you could just trade them away and pull them back with Mount Cornet, or discard something with Starmie and bring them back with Starmie. Like, there was just so many different ways to get it. Granted, we were only playing it really against the Garchomp deck, which only has 150 HP to it.
Mhm.
Right.
And when we would hit, you discard 5, it's not really the end of the world. If you want to discard something or if you want to knock out like a Zoroark or something bigger, there's a lot more that you need. And I can't remember if we played any choice bands in that list or not. I think maybe we played 1 or 2.
Mm.
Maybe. But with Duskmane Necrozma, we decided to run Fighting Fury Belt.
Oh.
And it was so much better because you're hitting for 220 anyways with its second attack, with its main attack. So adding, at 230, you're basically knocking out just about anything. And then, so that extra 30 that you would get from Choice Band wasn't worth it. You don't really need a Float Stone because you can discard energies, to retreat if you need to. And then we had Acerolas, which we had to proxy with Archie's Ace in the Hole because we didn't want to dig for the Acerolas. But then it puts it at 230 HP, which is pretty bulky. So it was a lot of fun just to kind of build a little bit, and that's probably what got Dan like the itch to register for Collinsville, I think.
Oh, I should probably register.
Oh, that's what gave Dan the itch to go to a tournament.
Yeah, you should
Come out of
register.
retirement.
Yeah, I'm going to do that right now.
For that Poke
He was already
Regionals.
messaging the Pro-Am team today about lists. They're like planning for Oceana, and Dan's like, no, forget that. Collinsville. Let's work on that.
Me coming out of retirement's more important.
Are you going to be? Does that mean you're going to be coming to League and practicing a little bit at Pokemon League?
No.
Oh, okay.
I have to work on Sunday.
Oh man,
Then I'll be in Minneapolis, and then I'll be in Collinsville.
sadness forever. Real life sadness. Well, dang.
That's it.
Sweet.
I mean, we don't have to talk too much more about Dallas or Leipzig, unless there's anything else you guys want to say about it.
There was one other very large tournament, and it was down south, Sao Paulo. There's a regional event down there, and that event was also extremely wide open. There was a lot of different decks, but plenty of Buzzwall. Again, lots of Buzzwall. There was some Zoroark, Lycanroc, but Vika Bulu made a really big stand. There was a Hoopa Regigigas deck, and first place went to Gabriel Pino Samido with Gardevoir.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Was that the Sylveon build, or was it, or does it not say?
It was not.
Okay.
This was 4 Gardevoir, 2 Diancie, 2 Lele, 1 Oranguru, 1 Miltank from Crimson Invasion. And
Spicy.
yeah, this is a neat list. There's a counter
That sounds
catcher.
closer to like the original list almost.
Yeah, this doesn't even have. It only has 1 Bridget, and there are no rare candies. Interesting. So this is just a hard evolved Gardevoir deck. Interesting. But obviously worked for him. Took first place out of 380 some players. So congratulations, Gabrielle.
Awesome. Nice job.
Cool. Well, that's probably all we got for competitive talk this week. What is our next thing on the agenda?
Weekly top 5. Ultra Prism Pokemon.
Weekly top 5.
Oh, is that the thing?
That's one of the things that we sing, yeah.
Yeah, now we
Weekly
sing
top
things. There it is.
5.
Weekly top 5. We are going around and finding out each of our top 5 Ultra Prism Pokemon.
One little side note, just prior to us talking about our top 5 that I'm totally not prepared for. I'm now registered for St. Louis.
Congratulations on being registered for St. Louis.
Can we get that in? All right, so who wants to go first for top 5 for
I'll
Ultra Prism?
do it.
Okay. Are we starting at? We're starting at number 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man.
All right, I'm going to go Weavile.
Is it only Pokemon that we're doing? We're not doing cards in general, right? It's just
Correct.
Pokemon.
Yep, just Pokemon. I can go next. My number 5 is Doug Trio. Next.
I was waiting for Danny. I will actually second the Doug Trio, having a ton of fun with it.
I'm stuck.
Between.
I am going to go with Lucario.
Okay.
Nice. Back to Dan.
Number 4, I'm going to go Empoleon.
My number 4 is going to be Garchomp.
Dang it, Darren. If we
gonna
have
have
like
the
the same list. Let me try to switch this up here. I'll put Weavile as my number 4.
There you go.
I'll also say Garchomp as my number 4.
Number 3, then, I guess. Garchomp.
My number 3 is Magnezone.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to go Dialga GX.
Ooh.
Just that GX move's too nasty.
Yep.
My number 3 is going to be Empoleon.
Number 2, Glaceon GX.
Very cool. See, this is where it gets tough. I really like my number 1 and number 2 Pokemon quite a bit. Oh, man. All right. That's fine. Number 2 is Dialga GX. I just think that's so crazy.
Number 2 would have to be, I don't know. I'm going to get a lot of disagreement for this. I don't think it's good right now, but I think it will be good, just like Keldeo was that Necrozma. I can't remember the name before it, but it's the switching one.
Dawn Wings.
Yeah.
Dawn Wings, thank you.
Dawn Wings, Necrozma.
I'm going to have to go with that.
My number 2 is... I was going to say something. Now I'm going to mix it up. My number 2 is Leafeon GX.
All right. Number 1, Dan?
Number 1, Duskmane Necrozma.
Duskmane?
Yeah, I'm biased for sure.
Wow. Cool. My number 1 is Glaceon GX.
Good choice. My number 1 is Magnezone.
Ooh.
My number 1's also Magnezone.
Nice. That was a nice, easy top 5. No arguments, no anger.
Well, it's hard to have arguments and anger when it's literally untested, you know? There's no way for us to know.
Yeah, and there's cards like
Even if
that
Danny was wrong.
get honorable mention really well. There's a bunch of like ones that I wanted to put in my 5 and I couldn't.
You should replace your Empoleon choice with one of those.
Ooh.
Empoleon has such a good attack, though.
Hey, I had to start something. We couldn't not have an argument.
Lucario's really great. Weavile's pretty good. There's just a lot of cool stuff in this set. This is just a nice set.
I'm so bad, I don't even know what Weavile does. What does Weavile do?
50 damage times the amount of opponent's Pokemon that has an ability.
Okay.
Yep. One dark energy. 50x. This attack does 50 damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon that has an ability.
So gross.
That's disgusting.
Gross.
Nice. Well, with that...
It's only bench, though. It's not in play. So
No,
the
in
active
play.
doesn't count? Okay.
In play.
All right. Well, that was our weekly top 5.
Weekly top 5.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Well, next up, we are going to make Aaron, trainer, talk
About himself.
we're just so grateful to have Aaron as a friend of ours so that we can pick his brain on so many things that he's good at. He's been big into YouTube. He's done streaming. He's done every social media outlet that you can think of. And right now, Aaron, you're going through some rebranding, right? Do you mind walking us through like what it takes to be good on YouTube and what it takes to rebrand and kind of start fresh? Like, give us a walkthrough. We are here to listen.
Okay, so let me tackle this. I'll start with like the branding portion of that question, and then kind of go into the first part talking about how to be a YouTuber, what it takes. Both of those answer is kind of brand, and a lot of people throw around, you just need branding, and it's more than that. It's more than a logo, and I think that's where a lot of people get it wrong. It's more than a slogan. It's how you carry yourself in the video. It's your personality. That's the brand and the community that you build. And so when I go through something like I'm going through now, where, I've done Trainer TV for so long, and now that has come to an end, I have to come back with a piece of that, but something new. And that's the hard part. So I've been, spending the last few weeks, 3 weeks, a month, trying to come up with what that is, what I really want as a person, because what I want as a person has to be reflected in the brand. I'll always bring the trainer name with me. It's something I'm very fond of, but I kind of right now on Twitter, my name is Aaron Trainer, because I wanted to throw a piece of myself in there too. When I come back, I want more than just the character that like Trainer was. So it's a long process, and for aspiring YouTubers out there, I'll kind of talk about the first part right now. I'm going to say the name consistency, but that's boring because everybody tells you to be consistent, and it's a truth, but I'm not going to give that piece of advice. I would say, as bad as it sounds, maybe I can change up the word. It's steal or borrow and then tweak. There's new genres and new niches that are created, and the only way to create them is not by sitting up for hours on end trying to come up with something completely new. It's by mimicking and then shifting. So the League vlogs came off of, which pretty much was Trainer TV's niche, came off of me just starting to film myself, and then eventually I was like, well, what if I brought this to League? So experiment and just take something that's already there and try to put your own spin on it or mimic it for a while until something comes to you. So that would be my answer to that question.
Nice. I think that's a really good point. Whenever people are getting into YouTube, oftentimes they kind of fall into two categories, right? First category is they take something that's already being done and they do it to a T, and they do it consistently, and some are successful, some aren't, and that kind of falls to luck. And then the other group is they try to do something completely different. They try to find the 1 million view idea, right? The one video that's gonna make it big for them, and that's all they focus on. I have been a part of a group like that before Deaddrawgaming, where we put out videos weekly rather than daily, and we focused on trying to hit that one big idea, and it sucked a lot, honestly. It was not fun. Like it was stressful. Like we'd all sit down for hours trying to pick each other's brains, and it just wasn't a good time. Like the best times we had as that group were when we were just spitballing right at the start and did whatever first came to mind and put it out. Like the quality wasn't there, but it was obvious that we were having fun, and some of our viewers saw that. I don't know. It's getting into YouTube is obviously very difficult, especially with thousands of people trying to do it every day. So I really like the idea of, rather than just being consistent, the idea of finding something and making it your own. I think that's great advice.
And I like what you said too. You have to, a huge part of it has to be the personal fun of it. You're going to lose interest, and you're not going to create as, good of content as you could be if if your heart was in it, right? So yeah, definitely agree with that.
Do either of you guys have any questions for Aaron? So I don't just steal the whole show here.
I guess I always have questions for Aaron. I don't know, like, how do you fine tune what you're doing, as far as, like, you were talking about your niche before with League vlogs. Like, how do you keep things fresh to continue driving content to your channel, like, eventually? So we've done pack openings before, and pack openings are great and everything, but there's 1 million people that do pack openings.
Right.
So unless you're somebody who's already dedicated to an opener and dedicated to a channel, if you're not doing something unique that steals people away. So if you want to be a Pokemon related channel, how do you find those unique things? How do you find those niches, and how do you keep them fresh enough that you can continually grow your viewership, your base, when you're just kind of doing the same thing over and over again?
I think a lot of it, and I'm guilty of this too, is once you hit and you're successful in a niche, you almost become a little lazy, and if you lose perspective, you can even get a little, I don't know. This is such a negative term, but you can get a little cocky, whereas you've you feel that you've already figured out the perfect formula. And so you constantly create, the same thing. But then what will happen is somebody is going to come out and even just switch a little camera angle and blow up. And now you're wondering what happened. And so you always have to be innovating. Otherwise, somebody else will beat you. As far as, what do you do to kind of stay fresh? A lot of it is kind of keeping that perspective of, staying in the league, staying in the lead, never getting, doing the same content, in my opinion, is defensive. And you want to always be on the offense. You always want to be, searching for the next thing, because nobody will ever be able to catch up if that's your, perspective. And kind of what happened, as a lesson learned from my own experiences, I did get, kind of lazy and comfortable in the league vlogs. Luckily, I had, a Drizzy and Johnny there, so there was kind of three minds. And whenever a Drizzy would vlog, he would switch up a camera angle or, set the camera down and kind of, do a time lapse or something cool. So then, I learned from him. But I know of other channels that, are still doing the same thing that they started with. And there are, I think, three of the biggest or bigger PokeTubers now were not around when I started or when a lot of the other, well-known ones started. And now they've beaten us all because, they figured out a new formula, something different. And so just stay on the offense is the only thing I could say.
So, okay, I have a question for you then, too. One of my, I think, biggest growing pains has been staying motivated. And it's sort of easy to stay motivated with, when things are changing and when things are growing. But when things are not consistent or when things are maybe failing, what kind of tips and tricks, I guess, do you have as a creator to stay motivated?
So I think this will vary with people. Movement or being static is hard, and some of that is fixed by that offense mentality. But you want to find something that you want, and even more than what you have right now. So and that sounds really generic to say, but let me try to think of a better example. For instance, if I'm just vlogging Pokemon right now, right? I could lose motivation, and I did with some of the Trainer TV videos. It's because I lost a bigger perspective. You have to have something that's almost impossible to obtain, but you need to tell yourself that I'm going to achieve this. And so the motivation comes behind that. So Dan, just get in your mind, what do you really want? And what do you want to achieve through the content that you're creating? And if somebody is bigger than you, make them your first target. I'm going to go not take them down, not destroy what they have, but I'm going to beat them, in numbers or whatever it is. And, find that self motivation. And it's always, you have to improve. I'm not saying this to you personally, but, I need to be in my vlogs more entertaining. I need better branding all the time. I need to switch up content, all that's, it's such a mixture of, as long as you have that bigger vision that, of what you truly want. And I'm figuring that out too, with my new place in life of what I really want,
Well, Aaron,
a lot of it, you can take a break as well. If you ever need to just sit and reflect on things, take a few hours or take a day and think about all of it and then come back and just kill it.
Dang. Do you have anyone you're gonna go after first, Dan?
Aaron Trainer.
I like it.
Come at me.
Well, Aaron, do you have any specific plans that you can talk about? Any videos or series coming up soon?
Not really. I mean, I want to return to Twitch of some sort. I want to continue vlogging. Vlogging is my thing. I want to come back, start, and I want to just be me, but like really, really grow it and, you know, showcase what I love in the vlogs like Pokemon and such, but not necessarily make it a Pokemon only channel.
Okay.
So the branding is kind of hard there. Future plans coming up, I will be vlogging some regionals. And I will be moving to Wisconsin.
What? Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, baby.
I know some people who live there.
How I am as a person, I guess, to completely answer this question is I think that we create our own destinies, I would say. Like, there's no assigned fate or assigned destiny. And this is personal philosophy, so you can tune me out if you'd like. And there was a time where I came to Madison Regionals, and there was a group of us who kind of formed an idea. And I call these ideas, these bigger ideas, destinies. And I think that there is one last one that I need to fulfill, and it is creating a stream house or a creator house of some sort. So when I do move here, I'm actually here now. I'm not in Denver. But when I move here, that is kind of the next step.
Nice. That's so fantastic. I really am excited to come see your stream house and hopefully be a part of some of your magic.
I'm excited to live there.
I'm excited to be part of your magic here too, DDG.
Aw, that's very kind.
Oh,
That is very nice.
Hmm.
Do you think YouTube is the best way to go if you're looking at providing content? Or are there additional outlets that you think are more viable or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on the content. Longer form video is going to always be YouTube right now. Twitch is kind of playing around with some nasty strategies right now on how to dethrone that. But as of right now, YouTube is number one for long form. Short form, Facebook or Instagram. And then I would say audio is going to be a huge thing coming up. So this podcast, perfect. We see more of a transition from people Googling on their phones or typing something into Google versus, hey, Alexa, what's this? So we're already moving to voice a lot more. And so I think that podcasts, there's going to be kind of a revolution in podcasts, but I think there's going to be also something shorter form. I don't know how audio will go, but I think there's a true power in it.
Hey Alexa, play Deaddrawgaming like no one ever was.
Exactly. Episode or their newest episode or, episode whatever, and it'll come on while, you're cooking. Watching a video, it's kind of, it's just takes a stream of attention, whereas audio, you can do two things at once. So it's going to be more and more popular coming up.
I wanted to ask you about Instagram. That's one avenue that we haven't ventured down yet. What are some tips? What can you tell us? How can we get started and be a successful Instagram?
So take the empty packs from your mass opening and go lay in the bathtub with them. No, that's a picture I have to still take here. I think it depends on the form of content that you want to create. I think one of the most powerful things you could probably do is advertise the website in, a 30-second video of you opening a pack a day. And, you create a DeadDrawgaming Instagram. You create a following that comes back every single day and then likes and shares, and your website is already, you have your logo on the screen. Other things is maybe audio bits of the podcast with, I don't know if you guys plan on doing video podcasts someday, but you can even take like little clips of, your top 5 and just post someone's top 5 for 30 seconds on Instagram.
Man, that sounds awesome. Images. That sounds
It's all
awesome.
repurposing, but I don't know. Try it out.
Well, I think we will.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be the Instadan.
You're gonna be Instadan.
Instadan.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, dang, I think that's kind of all the questions I have. Anyone else? Do you guys have anything else for Aaron? Or Aaron, do you have anything you want to say?
I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna say it at the end again, but it's been a real pleasure, coming and working with you guys in person, and I hope that we continue on and off the podcast to bounce ideas around and really motivate each other to take the next step.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Aaron, thanks for the interview. We got, I mean, you're going to stick around because you are here for the whole podcast, but
yes.
I hope you know that we always ask our guest, what is our question of the week going to be this week? Have you been thinking about what to ask our audience?
How could I forget you're going to ask me this? Okay. Question of the week.
Well, he gets to think about it, right? He doesn't have to answer it yet.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have to answer yet?
No. You can think about it for a little bit. That's okay. While you're thinking of what our next question will be, why don't we answer last week's question of the week? Oh, yeah. All right. We have a response for our question of the week, which was, what are your top 3 tool cards printed since Black and White? Pretty good question. We picked our top 5, but we thought we'd give you guys a little bit of a break and only make you pick 3 of them. Charlie comes in with Floatstone, Choice Band, Fighting Fury Belt, in that order. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, I'm assuming. We also have Steven saying Floatstone, G-Booster, Muscle Band. Sean with an answer here, Eviolite, Muscle Band, and Floatstone. Luca says Darkclaw, Floatstone, and Life Dew. And Zaya says number 1, Floatstone. Number 2, tie between Muscle Band, Choice Band, and Fighting Fury Belt. They're all kind of similar. And then number 3, Focus Sash. I like that. I like that pick, Zaya.
Why does he get a top 5?
Well, just because he typed all these extra words, and I just Zaya's one of our listeners that answers almost weekly, so give him a little extra.
Darren, I have one thing to say about this.
Okay.
It's pronounced Zaya. I think you've said it wrong every single week, and I keep forgetting to correct you.
All right, Zaya, you're a very, very nice person for never correcting me. You should have, though, because now I feel terrible. Anyway,
I mean,
moving
in his
on.
defense, we still don't know if it's Louis or Luis.
Yeah, come on, man.
He listens to all of our episodes, and he still hasn't told us. So.
Well, isn't that the nice thing about text and not knowing how to pronounce words? Sorry about that, Zaya. It will never happen again. Dang. Let's jump over to Twitter. All right, we got a response from @BaleScale saying Floatstone, Choice Band, and Muscle Band, and then a response from Jimmy Fabian @FabesPlays, Bursting Balloon, Choice Band, and does Clef Key count?
No.
But good try. Klefki is a great tool some of the time. A lot of fun.
In bees.
That's right, exactly, MBs. All right, so that was our question of the week answers from last week. As always, thank you everyone for responding. And, well, Aaron, I think time's up. What have you got for us this week?
Oh, man. All right, so just like you asked me what could Deaddraw do on Instagram, I want to ask the audience, what would you like to see from Deaddraw? Something that else they would like to see from you. Maybe video-wise. Maybe we make it more broad. Something they would like to see from DDG in related to video.
Okay. All right. So, listeners, you can let us know what you want to see Deaddrawgaming do video-wise in all of our normal outlets. You can let us know on Facebook, on Twitter. You can let us know on Twitch, on Patreon, in our Discord channel, or you can email us at deaddrawgaming@gmail.com. You could also write us a letter. That'd be really silly, though, because it would not get here in time. And then jump on... What's that?
Before more dance slams.
Oh, it's coming. You got to know that's going to be the number one answer.
What's up, YouTube?
All right, guys. Jeez, so much fun. I love Question of the Week every week. It is the best thing. I love it. All right, what do we got next? Buy, sell, trade, right? BST, Danny's BST.
Yeah, there's really nothing that I can even say about buy, sell, trade because it's just all been Ultra Prism. I haven't even thought about, there's been people who have literally asked us, to look at some cards of theirs, and I've had to message them back, unfortunately, and say, I'm sorry, I will get to it. It's just going to take a little bit of time. Ultra Prism is the number one focus right now, so I just haven't. The sell section of buy, sell, trade, I guess, is going fine because we're selling a bunch of Ultra Prism singles. And those are actually, so I'm slowly working on getting all those uploaded on the website. So all of the Ultra Rares that we still have left are up on the website now. And it's going to take me some time to get through all of the non-Ultra Rare cards, but we'll get there eventually. But I guess it's more of just a sell section this week because that's all that's really happened. And then hopefully this week I can start focusing more attention back on buying cards again. I'm sorry.
No, that's just fine. I think everyone understands when you open 1,500 packs of a Pokemon set, you kind of have to be focused on pushing those out the door.
Yeah, I think so. We opened 16,000 cards then that you have to sell. So that's a lot.
Yes.
It's a lot of cards.
Well, dang, I think buy, sell, trade was a success, as well as Question of the Week, as well as everything we've talked about tonight. That all that leaves us with is open discussion. For open discussion, for me, I am very, very excited for this weekend because I'll be back at Pokemon League on Saturday, and then I'm gonna watch my Eagles play in the Super Bowl at Dan's house on Sunday. I'm very excited. What do you guys got going on?
I had a really fun weekend with you guys, with all of us who are still here and everybody who was here. So I just want to say thanks again to Papa Blastoise, Purple Cliff, Trainer, Dan, and Darren for coming down and turning this weekend into a success. I think literally everything went we had problems streaming with dropping frames except for when we were actually streaming. That's every other time we tried streaming throughout the weekend, we were dropping frames, but it really wasn't bad for the opening somehow, which was nice. And we were able to create some good content, so there'll be some fun videos to go up. And it was just a lot of fun. We did some interesting things. We did a scavenger hunt. Did a lot of IRL streaming. I took over Cliffy's stream one night. That was, it was a lot of fun. It was a good time. So thank you guys very much for coming and helping and making this fun.
For me, I guess, Danny kind of mentioned it briefly, but we do have on my phone, I probably have 3 to 4 YouTube videos recorded that I just need to get to Darren so Darren can edit. Lots of really good footage. Not only that, but as soon as I get a new microphone cord, I should be back on Twitch. And I might be attempting some IRL streams soon. So, nice. Also with that, if you guys are going to St. Louis Regionals, again, we'll talk about it again later, but make sure to see me there because I'm registered. Not missing out this time.
Awesome.
Coming out of Dan Tyreman's.
Aaron, anything you have for open discussion?
Oh man, I mean, you mentioned a lot of it. I hope the Eagles win.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. That's fun.
And we'll see when I leave Wisconsin because I don't know at this point either. Everything's up in the air, so it's going to be exciting next few weeks, and I hope to make it to St. Louis and maybe enter the tournament alongside Dan and as well.
Maybe? I don't like that. I need certainty.
You need certainty. Oh man.
I need absolute.
All right, I'll be there.
Yes.
Ooh, I like it. It's on air. It's recorded.
I'll give you my list.
Okay.
we can same 60.
Sounds
get first
good.
and second.
Hello and Doug Trio.
Oh man.
Awesome. Well, with that, I think, Dan, you're good to take us home.
All right. So, you guys, if you enjoyed episode number 69 of Deaddrawgaming, a Pokemon TCG podcast like no one ever was, make sure to hit that like button down below and share this podcast with all of your friends. That is all we have for you guys this week. Make sure to check us out next week for episode number 70. That is a lot of weeks in a row, but next week we'll have some good stuff for you guys again. And that is all we have for you. Again, thank you to our special guest, Aaron Trainer, for being on this week. So for Danny, for Darren, and for myself, Dan, we will see you next time.